Hi, this is Irina reporting for Geek Entertainment Television from the Thirsty Bear, where you'd think they serve hamburgers, but they don't, just tapas. And I'm here with somebody from Open Source Labs, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
My name is Kveton. I'm from the Oregon State University Open Source Lab in Corvallis, Oregon. We focus on developing open source software and helping the open source community accelerate the pace of innovation happening there, pretty much.
Okay, so without further ado, how would you explain open source to my father, Boris?
Software that's by the people for the people. That's it, right there.
So does that mean that anybody can contribute and add to the code or use the code for whatever purposes?
My message is getting through to you, obviously, because you explained it perfectly. Yes, that's absolutely it. It's about software as the software engineering space itself has matured to the point that it's like every other industry and it's commoditizing. In other words, the cost to produce software is becoming nothing. So we're entering the age of software by the ton. I'm stealing that line. That's from someone else, Tim Witham, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but it's the age of software by the ton, and this is a great thing for users of software, which is fantastic.
So how did, because we hear a lot about open source, and some of our viewers may have heard that it's almost one of the buzzwords, and okay, it is a buzzword. So how did it get into, was it Firefox that brought it into the mainstream?
Yeah, I think for sure. So years ago, in I think '98, Mozilla, which was Netscape at the time, released Netscape as an open source product. And the idea is that anyone can look in at the blueprints of the software. Anybody can see how they designed the software, what they did to...
But don't you lose money like that when everybody knows everything? I mean, if I were to give away the blueprint for GTV, I would be devastated. Well,
except the value is in you. Right, so the value is in Eddie behind the camera. The value is in the mind share and the people behind it. It's not in what's been created. And more importantly, what's created by a community is much better than what's created by individuals. And it's that mob mentality, and that's good for everyone else that's using the software. So
I hear that you're an ordained minister.
Yes, I am. I'll get it out.
You actually have an identification card. Can we zoom in on the card there? So if I were to ask you to marry a couple,
anything that's legal in any state, I can marry. I think there's 2 states, and I can't remember what they are, but they're not the states that I live in or frequent. But the deal is that I can marry anyone, and I've done it. I've done 4 so far, and I've got 2 more coming up.
So if I wanted to become an ordained minister and marry people on GTV, what would I do?
You'd go onto Google and you'd type "internet ordained" and then you'd be done.
I'm very interested in this.
Done and done.
And so what church are you part of?
I am a part of the Church of Spiritual Humanism. And that's just the first one that came up in Google. I hate to be honest about it, but it's true. And I actually did it for the godparents of my son. They were getting married, and
now, are all these couples still together? I mean, what's your streak is 100%.
100%. I'm 4 for 4 so far.
What is the future for open source on the internet?
Ooh, that's a great one. So many people are struggling with, or they want to get.
You're just supposed to say porn.
Prawn is the correct term, but really I think is what people want is open source is a means to an end. At the end of the day, people want to collaborate, and open source is a means to an end to do that. The tools for collaboration are awful today, and the fact was that
name names. What's awful?
Well, just the ability for your dad Boris to be able to engage with other people that do the same thing that Boris does.
Cook borscht.
Cook borscht. It sucks if I don't know anything about technology. And that's awful because these technologies are enabling when they get good enough, but it's to develop really good technologies for collaboration is very, very hard. That's the future. That's the future.
The future is making it easy for people to collaborate and get married on the internet.
Yes, now we're talking.
Good night.